My own?
Yes.
I'm Richard Roeser. My background, as you heard, is perhaps different than other members of the panel because I've been in technical operations and development work almost my whole career until IBM in its wisdom decided they needed some help with systems work at the corporate level. But basically I'm a process engineer, and I'm old enough to remember that when the Sputnik went up it had a battery in it. Anybody remember that? And it was a couple of years before somebody said, well, it went beep, 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 but now what do we do? And we started communications, the possibilities for communications, intercontinental communications, decided that we could have satellites that did that, but they had to be powered. And the first use of solar cells was in those early communications satellites. Hellishly expensive kind of materials and efforts to make one of those arrays. But the thing that always helped computer designers and the like was something called Moore's Law. Well, it was anything but a law, but it essentially said that when you're working with solid silicon, like you're looking at right there, the ability to add circuits to it, little switches on it, every 3 years the cost to do that halves. And the geography that you have, that panel right there, it'll look the same probably in 10 years, but it probably will have 8 times the power and 8 times the number of circuits. So with Moore's conjecture and Moore's law as our guide, we're to the point where we can essentially replace power production in the world in a relatively short period of time, in the time of 15 to 25 years. What this will do is reduce our carbon footprint, which was, am on the Earth Stewards Committee. We wanted our new addition to the church to have a low, if not zero, carbon footprint. We can get the carbon footprint of industrialized countries down to the point where we no longer will be putting carbon dioxide into the air and putting the whole planet at risk. Now this is sort of this level talk, but at the level of Freedom Plains Church, as I said, the Earth Stewards wanted a zero footprint for our new doubling, if you will, of the square footage of the church through a very large conference center hall, meeting hall, this size or bigger, I guess, along with our 1810 church. So we had a big opportunity. We've done the design work. It looks like about 96 panels, guessing what our demands will be. Each panel produces about 1/4 of a kilowatt, so that's about 18 kilowatts installed. But it's really what you're doing is gaining the kilowatt hours, and the sun provides the hours of input that we need. That's a variable, but we think that's the ballpark figure that'll do the job. So it's a very technical thing. We decided to finance it ourselves through our membership. I know we could perhaps borrow some of the costs, and we may end up borrowing some of the costs. But right now, we're having our members subscribe to a panel, and the controls to the panel something called an end-phase inverter, and that's sort of key to the important. That's a key breakthrough. It's a little computer. I don't have to get into the details. But the sum cost to do that per panel is about $375 now, mounted on the roof. The cost to mount it and to cable it down into the regular electric of the church is going to be borne by the building that's being put up. But our members hopefully will subscribe for the 96 panels. We got a good head start from you folks, actually, by giving us a challenge grant for our work, which bought a number of the first panels. So we thank you and appreciate it. So I'm just going to pass it to the next person, and the idea of the technicalities of what we're doing and the cost estimate, I'll be happy to give you further detail on. Thank you.